So welcome to your science class. Today we are going to check the unit review about the topic that we've been seeing during these classes. Forces and motion. When we talk about forces and motion, we need to know two principal definitions about how the objects move. The first one is the position, where it is an object's location or where something is, and the motion, which is the change in the position of an object when this object moves from one place to another. For us to identify or describe the position of an object, we can use the prepositions of place, which are in front of, behind, left, right, or beside. With this, we can describe how an object is moving. By using the prepositions of place, we can describe the positions of moving objects. Objects in a map are in a fixed place, which means they are not moving or they do not move. So we can describe, based on the characteristics in the map, how objects are moving. Inside of motion, which is how the objects change from one place to another, we have a speed. Speed is a characteristic of objects when they are moving. It is the rate at which or how fast an object changes its position. It could be faster or slow. And it depends also in the object that is moving. So there are two different types of speed. The constant speed, when the object does not change how fast it moves, so it stays at the same speed all the time, like an airplane, and the variable speed, when the object changes the speed as it moves, so it can go faster or slowly during the movement. When we want to move an object, we need to apply some force to cause motion, speed, and direction of this object and change its position. And for this reason, we need to be in contact with the object we want to move and apply the force that we need. When we cause the motion of an object, we need to be in contact with this object to make it move. But there is a contact force that opposes the motion of an object, which we call it friction. Friction can cause a moving object to slow down or to stop. This depends on the surface of the two objects when they are moving. Motion and forces. When we talk about forces, we can find three different types. The first one is the combined forces, which an object's motion depends on all the forces acting together. In this case, all these forces are going to change the speed and direction of an object, all at once. Balance forces, on the other side, are the forces that work together and make no change in motion, which means that if an object we put the same amount of force on each side and we apply the same direction, this object will not move. And the unbalanced forces. If the forces acting on an object are not balanced, which means they are not the same, the motion of the object will change, so it will make them possible to move. Magnetism. Magnetism is a non-contact force that pulls on or attracts metal objects containing iron with a magnet. The characteristic of this force is that it doesn't need any touching with an object for moving. Gravity, similar to magnetism, is a non-contact force that pulls objects toward one another, which means this force doesn't need to touch any other object. Without gravity, objects will float away, which means that they will be on space without a forcing pulling it toward each other. The weight of objects is what is going to allow the gravity force to apply and make the objects move. So an object's weight depends on the amount of matter, which means if it has more matter, it will be heavy, the object. Matter and mass are related to the weight of objects because the matter is the compound of an object and the mass is how matter there is in an object. So when there is more matter, there will be more mass. And when there is more mass, the weight of an object is going to change. But if we set up an example of mass and weight, mass is never going to change. It's always going to be the same. It doesn't matter where the object is. But the weight is going to depend on the gravity, where this object is. Now you are ready for the test.